Right now we're tracking a powerful and dynamic weather pattern stretching from coast to coast, and it's bringing everything from heavy rain and flooding concerns in the west to snow squalls and cold air in the east. This is your full breakdown for Tuesday, March 17th, and the days ahead, and there's a lot happening, so stay with me. Let's start with the big picture. A deepening trough is currently moving across Ontario and Quebec, and this system is slowly pushing toward Atlantic Canada. At the same time, a ridge over Western Canada is briefly bringing some quieter and even mild conditions to parts of the prairies. But that calm is not going to last long, especially with a major atmospheric river slamming into British Columbia. Out west, this is where some of the most intense weather is unfolding right now. Coastal British Columbia is dealing with heavy, persistent rainfall that will continue through Tuesday, Wednesday, and even into Thursday before finally easing. This is not light rain. We're talking about very heavy rainfall rates, potentially reaching 10 to 20 millimeters per hour in some areas. Places like Tofino and the western coast of Vancouver Island are expected to receive between 200 and 400 millimeters of rain. That is an incredible amount of rainfall in just a few days. Across the lower mainland, totals could range between 100 and 200 millimeters, and similar numbers are expected along the sea-to-sky corridor. Another key factor here is the freezing level. It's rising above 2,000 meters, which means much of the precipitation is falling as rain even at higher elevations. That increases the risk of rapid snowmelt, rising river levels, and potential flooding concerns across the region. The good news is that conditions should slowly begin to improve by late Thursday into Friday, with even a return of some sunshine heading into the weekend. But until then, travel conditions will be difficult, with water pooling on roads and the risk of localized flooding. Now moving into the prairies, it's a bit of a mixed picture. Calgary is actually enjoying mild conditions, with temperatures around 15 degrees, feeling almost like patio season. But just to the east, it's a completely different story. Winnipeg is sitting well below freezing, around -9 degrees, with light snow moving through as a clipper system tracks across the region. This system started in northern Alberta and is now extending into Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Along that frontal boundary, we're also seeing a messy mix develop. Areas like Edmonton, Cold Lake, and down toward Prince Albert could see a combination of snow, ice pellets, and possibly freezing rain through Tuesday and into early Wednesday. So conditions there will be changing quickly and could impact travel. Across northern Canada, it's a much colder story. Wind chills are dropping into the -20s and even the -30s in some areas, making it feel extremely cold despite the calendar saying mid-March. Now let's move into Ontario, where the story shifts again. Northeastern Ontario has already been hit hard by a recent storm, with more than 50 centimeters of snow reported in some areas. And now, behind that system, colder air is moving in along with strong northwest winds. Those winds are triggering lake-effect snow across the traditional snowbelt regions. So areas downwind of the Great Lakes will continue to see snow squalls through the day. These squalls can be intense, with sudden drops in visibility and quick bursts of heavy snow. Winds are still gusty as well. On Monday, some areas saw gusts over 80 km per hour, and while winds may ease slightly, they will still be strong enough to cause blowing snow and difficult travel conditions in exposed areas. As we move into Tuesday afternoon, conditions across parts of Ontario and Quebec will begin to improve slightly, with some sunshine returning after the system moves through. But that break will be short-lived, because another clipper system is already on the way. That same system currently impacting the prairies will track into Ontario by Thursday, bringing another round of snow and gusty winds. Now looking at Quebec and Atlantic Canada, things are about to change. Right now, parts of Atlantic Canada are seeing relatively mild conditions, but that will not last. Cold air from Ontario and Quebec is pushing eastward and will arrive in Atlantic Canada by Wednesday. Ahead of that cold air, we are tracking a band of heavy rainfall moving along a frontal boundary. Late Tuesday evening into the overnight hours, heavy rain will develop across coastal Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. Some of these areas could see between 75 and 100 millimeters of rain, especially along the coastline. This could lead to localized flooding, especially in low-lying areas or places with poor drainage. Winds will also pick up, adding to the impact and making conditions more challenging. So across Canada, we're seeing a wide range of weather conditions all at once. Heavy rain and flooding risks in British Columbia, a mix of mild and wintry weather across the prairies, snow squalls and cold air in Ontario, and heavy rain moving into Atlantic Canada. This is a classic March pattern, where winter and spring collide, bringing rapid changes and sometimes extreme conditions. The key takeaway here is to stay prepared. If you're in British Columbia, be ready for heavy rain and possible flooding. In the prairies, watch for changing conditions and icy patches. In Ontario, be cautious of snow squalls and reduced visibility. And in Atlantic Canada, prepare for heavy rain and strong winds. Weather like this can change quickly, especially during this time of year, so make sure to stay updated and plan ahead. Winter may be trying to hold on, but spring is slowly pushing in, and over the next few weeks, we'll continue to see this battle play out across the country. Stay safe, stay informed, and keep watching as we track it all.